how do you keep people from doing it
It
two
would be
states?
permanent through Paycom.
Doing what?
It's claiming it in
Yes,
one
it would
state.
be something that Paycom.
But I know somebody
I think
that
it's
does
Well,
that.
there's, in the last
We
meeting,
had
that
that
was
problem
the
with the VA.
What's it called?
So they tried
It's
to
$130
eventually
per payroll.
see that they
So
cut out the
$260 a
whole
month
part. That's
and a
what we
one-time fee of $650.
So you're a great way to
Yeah, they'll set it up with us,
So, yeah, we
train
don't,
us, and then
aside from the
everything.
documents too, because basically Nick, like it's that whole Medicaid
You get it all in the right spectrum.
So a lot of it is.
Spectrum, I can't talk today.
Right. So we just-
That's weird. How are you supposed to?
And so what we.
I still can't get through the Cumberland thing because I just learned my geographics and like nothing better.
Yeah, it's that cold, yeah.
Where are you putting it?
We had class 15 minutes.
I know, that would make sense.
It's coming in an hour to get
You
through.
visit them, so yeah.
No, and if we have a presence, it'll be like once a month, we set up a CA, you know.
But you're
We'll send
essentially
people
heading it up for
online.
them.
Huh?
But you're essentially heading it up for them.
Yeah. pretty
So are
much.
they gonna have to travel here or is it just gonna,
I
they
think
only have
that's
the option
fine.
of online?
They can sign up online, or we'll have to have a presence there. once a month or
I
something.
wondered.
But, I mean, how educated?
Oh, that's good.
So we're-
I mean, there's I mean, I'm sure they didn't know that when they came in. But, well,
And we vetted pretty hard for it. We worked pretty hard on these.
okay, so maybe they saw that and then, that's why you're doing a good job and that's why you are who you are.
I'm surprised how they put.
Hey, at least
Yeah,
they give
the
you,
site visit.
at least they didn't give you cookie.
Right.
Maybe they put a lot more thought to it than they did. Maybe they actually didn't need to do the site visit. And they realized that and they're both, you know what, they can handle it. They talked us set up for it. They can do it. Maybe no one else has the ability that you guys have.
Oh, I agree with that.
I know that.
When you said your meeting.
I know that for
Worked at
sure.
several others.
Yeah.
Over several of them.
This amendment to.
It's a funding agreement, we did the thing, it's just taking,
Like, not only is the need recognized,
it's taking some estimate out of it.
Right, we're busy.
So they don't
And I
take
think
it,
it's amazing.
because they, whatever's in the SMA, they take 100% whether we use it or not.
I feel like
So
a
we
lot of
didn't need as
people
much, so we had them in the agreement.
Yeah, I felt it immediately. Switch counties and
yeah,
every year.
because it's not enough to
I'd like to call the April meeting of the county board to order. Would you all please rise and join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank you all for being here this morning. Guests and staff, Augie, would you please call the roll?
Lawton.
Here.
McCarty.
Here.
Patrick. Here. Bruner. Ellis.
Here.
Farnham. Hoyt.
Here.
We have a quorum. In fact, everybody's here on the board. Next item is the minutes from the March 11th, 26th regular meeting. You've had that for a few days. Is there any additions or corrections needed before we accept those minutes? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve and accept the minutes. Russ moves. Second. Andy seconds. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The minutes are accepted and approved. Next is claims against the county. You've had those for several days. Do you have any questions or clarifications needed on the claims against the county? Hearing none, I'd like to have a motion to approve the claims for the county. Andy moves, Russ seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The claims are accepted. Next, we have the county board member claims. You've had those for several days. Are there any questions or clarifications needed for those? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve those claims. Russ moves, Andy seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor of approval signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. They are approved. Thank you. Now we come to the portion of the meeting for public comment. We ask that you identify yourself and restrict your comments to the board to 5 minutes. Is there anybody who wishes to have any public comment to the board? Hearing none, we'll go to the highway resolutions. The first resolution is authorizing the clerk to transmit DLR 2120, a resolution requesting consent of the Department of Transportation to the reappointment of the incumbent as county engineer. That was easy for me to read, sorry. Are there any questions about that? Basically, this is the time of the year we tell them whether we'd like to go a different direction, or maybe we'd like to interview folks, but this is doesn't seal everything 100%, but it basically tells them that most likely we'll be reappointing the current engineer. Is there a motion to approve? Carl moves, Samantha seconds. Are there any further discussion? Mr. Clerk?
Lawton,
Yes.
McCarty,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Brunner,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
and Farnum,
Yes.
and Boyd.
Yes. Resolution authorizing the county board chairman to sign VLR 05311, local public agency amendment number 1 for the ISBP CH 16 Cambridge section. Basically, Carl moves. Is there a second? Andy seconds? Any discussion on that? Eddie, do you want to review it at all? Okay, we talked about that on Monday, so. Mr. Clerk?
Lawton,
Yes.
McCarty,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Brunner,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
And it is approved. Now we come to the resolution on salary schedules. We have a new one that replaces the one that you had in your envelope. The basic change, well, you wanna go through that, Augie, or is there, do we need to go through that again? I think the major change from what we had originally recommended is that the county board will, for districts 2, 3, 4, and 5, shall be compensated for meetings at $75 per day, rather than a set amount per meeting. And that brings us in line with state regulations. So that's the main thing. Are there any other questions about this sets the salary for the circuit clerk? I'm sorry, the county clerk, treasurer, and county board members from 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the county board chairman. So, if there's no further discussions, I need a motion to approve. Lisa moves, Carl seconds. Further discussion. Mr. Clerk?
Lawton,
Yes.
McCarty,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Brunner,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
and Farnum.
Yes.
It is carried, thank you, folks. Lisa, thank you for your committee's work on this, appreciate it. And Philip, your input on it is much appreciated, thank you. Okay, approved committee assignment. What have we finally come up with? Lisa, Samantha, and Andy will be on the audit committee, which will, it's not a financial audit, it's a personnel audit. And making sure that we're doing all the things that are necessary by law and looking at it. For example, we just had the situation come up with the workman comp. We need to make sure that we're staying on top of that. We're gonna deal here in a few minutes with, the expanded services for Paycom, which includes the, COBRA. I mean, there's all kinds of new regulations, and Nancy needs assistance and has asked for this committee, and so we're doing that. So, is there a motion to approve this committee? Carl moves, Russ seconds. Any further discussion? So you will be adding this to, we have approved adding it to the committee assignments. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It is approved. Okay, now we come to the Paycom situation on COBRA. Basically, the cost, well, first of all, in the past, the program has been pretty simple. When somebody retired or left our employment, we had to offer them health insurance, okay? We had to notify them within so many days, they had so many days to respond, and they got it for, I think it was originally 18 months or 2 years. Now we have to inform our staff on a continuous basis, what, 6 times a year?
Yes.
So we have to generate an actual thing, a memo or
Complete mail out.
a mail out. And so what we're looking at is going with Paycom, who has a program that'll take care of all this and keep us up to date. The fines on not doing it run around $110 a day per individual that we don't do it for. And then there's an excise tax and everything else associated with not doing it correctly. So what it boils down to is per payroll, it's $130 for this service. So it's $240 a month. Well, it's $240 a month, it'd be $130 times 26 payrolls. So what it's gonna cost. And the setup fee one time is $650. They keep us legal, we're set. That'll take care of the health department, the highway department, and all county employees. By the way, between full-time and part-time, there's roughly 150 people now employed by the county. So it's not a small task to maintain. Are there any questions? Nancy is more well-versed on this than I am, but Nancy's here in case you have any questions.
I would like to say one thing. This keeps it totally within the payroll department. Before, we had one department did one thing, the treasurer's office actually took the money for COBRA and paid it out. This will eliminate all of that. Paycom takes care of it. They send out the notices, they receive the notices back if someone chooses chooses COBRA, and then the money is sent directly to Paycom to pay the insurers. So we are totally out of having to take the money, disperse the money, do anything like that. It's all taken care of through them.
Thank you, Nancy. Any further questions?
I take it this was mandated by the state?
Yes, all of the changes in COVID were mandated either by the feds or the state, yes.
Is there an amendment to a contract with Paycom that would come out of this?
Yes. Motion to approve, please. Lisa moves, Dan seconds. Further discussion? Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Lawton,
Yes.
McCarty,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
and Farnum.
Yes. It is approved. Next, authorize advertisement for seeking of bids for the sale of the Edgar County Jail on 228 North Central Street. This is the start of a process. I mean, we're not gonna run right out tomorrow and and advertise for bids. We've got to go through a couple of hoops first, make sure we got all our ducks in a row, but this starts the process. Yes, yes, sir.
Is jail considered a historical building?
Well, that's one of the things we need to find out for ourselves.
Okay.
Now, according to one of the potential bidders, they've already checked that out, and it is not.
It is not?
But we don't know ourselves, and that's something we need to find out. Okay?
So part of it would not be, but the old part might be considered historical. I just
Well, according to, it's not on anybody's radar at this point. Okay? But it's something that we need to address, okay?
Jeff, State Streets.
It was brought up at the study session that there were certain requirements that might be required for the sale of the jail by the county, and that's not correct. The county can sell the jail in any manner that it pleases. It can do it by direct contract, it can do it by sealed bids, it can do it by competitive bidding. There's nothing that limits counties, municipalities, which is, I believe, what Mr., I don't know if it was Kraft or Mr. Allen that brought it up, that they have very specific requirements, and there's nothing that changes if it's a historical building either, so.
Okay. Well, I'm not an attorney, and you are, so that's appreciated. So, that's where we sit. We want to get the ball rolling. I mean, obviously, we're not in a big hurry, but we need to get certain things done. Okay? A motion? Andy moves. Is there a second? Lisa seconds. Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Lawton,
Yes.
McCarty,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
Warren.
Yes.
That is approved, thank you. Next, authorize advertisement seeking bids for the ambulance service in Special Service District Area Number 2. It's something it's coming due in July. We need to get the ball rolling on it and get bidding out and getting everything set up for a new contract. I assume, I don't know what the year, the current contract is for 5 years, well, it's per portion thereof. 4 years and so many months, I think.
Yeah. Did we talk about trying to do both on the same time? Is that something we want to do?
Well, the other contract is due when?
It comes due October 31st of
27? 28?
28.
Oh, okay. That'd
Okay.
be a long time.
Well,
So it's,
Yeah.
if we did this contract, it would be 2 years, 3 months, I think 14 days, something like that.
well, it's up to the board how they wanna bid it. I mean, you're gonna have to come up with the bid specifications and make sure.
We've got a committee for that. don't we?
Right,
Yeah.
and we're close.
Yeah,
I've been working on it.
We've been working on it.
you need to touch base with, obviously, more than touch base with the state's attorney on it.
We've been coordinating.
Okay,
So the current contract with the Christian ambulance, was it a 3-year or a 5-year?
It was a 5-year.
5-year. So if you want to get it to coincide, you cut it in half basically.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to cut anybody out or anything, but nobody's gonna come in. Last time we bid that, we had one person
Right.
bid, and that's who got it.
Right.
So nobody's gonna come in and bid
Right.
a $250,000 contract in Christmas and put 2
Right.
ambulances there. So possibly if you do them both at the same time, you may get more interest.
Okay.
I remember we just talked about it.
It's not, yeah. Or get somebody sharpen the pencil, one or the other.
Yeah. Okay.
okay. Motion to, or did we already do that?
You have not done
Okay. Motion to advertise for bids for the ambulance service for Area 2. Russ moves, Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It is approved. Thanks for the work for the committee. Thank you, Philip. Next, appoint Tim Hansel, Craig Henry, and Dale English to the Farmland Committee. That works with the assessment assessment office. That meeting is what, in June?
Whenever Wyatt has an opening, after farmers are done in the field,
Okay, well, whatever.
no date.
I asked Tim to stay on, he's been a member, he'll probably come off as he assumes his duties as a board member of this board. But for the time being, that keeps him plugged in. Motion to appoint. Carl moves, Samantha seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are reappointed. Thank you for that. That ends the action portion of the meeting. Now we have the officer department reports. Augie?
Yeah, thank you. So we had an election on March 17th, and the state requires that within 3 weeks. You have to have everything accounted for and reports filed. And we did that on the 15th day after the election, so we're all closed out. It's all official now. I'm just working on a couple of internal reports right now. So the worst is behind us, and but I do want to take the opportunity to thank everyone that helped me, especially the election judges. We had several new ones. I think they all did a good job this go around, and I look forward to having them come back. I want to thank the polling places that let us occupy their space for a day. I really appreciate all that cooperation. It goes without saying that I couldn't do any of what I do without my staff behind me. You know, election day isn't just one day. It's 60, 70, 80 days prior to, and we start getting busier. And we start early voting the 40th day before the election. And they all pitch in, and they have done a great job, and so I appreciate that. And I also thank the deputies that were here on Saturday for early voting, and then they put in a long day on election day here at the courthouse also. So, turnout was just a shade under 34%. So, yeah, it's better than normal. You'd like to see 100% turnout, but obviously that's never going to happen. But we'd like to get closer to that. But, all in all, it went real well. No issues, no problems. So, yeah, I want to give another shout out to our election vendor. They do a lot of the work behind the scenes with the voter registration system and guiding us, and is a good resource. So, questions for me?
Thank you, Augie. It's obviously a thorough report. Nancy, did you have anything else to add for payroll?
I do. I wanted to let you know that during this past year, I've been looking into all of our different things that we pay out on. When Mr. Luddington died, I submitted his insurance, his life insurance, to them, and to Principal is the AD&D that we had. And they said because he didn't work 30 hours a week, he did not qualify. So all board members are now off of that policy. I was able to negotiate with them to get premiums back. I was able to get 1 year's worth of premiums credited back to the county in order to get some relief from what we have paid them. So I wanted to let you know that, that is part of it now, that the board members do not qualify. and that will be no longer, part of something that the county pays.
Thank you, Nancy. Philip, do you have anything for this portion of the meeting?
No, I don't know when the county board wants me to address anything, if they want me to do it now, or, are we going into closed session?
We were gonna go into closed session if we can. Okay. Dina, here you got a little bit of information.
Yeah, well, we have angry taxpayers. That little hearing you had that morning is a snapshot of what we're seeing all day, every day. It's been somewhat ugly. We've had everything from being accused of falsifying records, cheating and lying. We've had a property line dispute that actually involved the Paris police. Augie even got to join in. I had an email and it was carbon to Augie that he was complaining about the ink we used on our notices. So if people are just angry about anything they can come up with.
Can we back up 1 second? We did a quadrennial of Paris.
Paris, everything in
And that's
Paris was revalued
precipitated-
heavily.
Right.
Very heavily. I did get wind of a group of people that were gonna join forces and they're gonna band together and stop this and come into the office. So I was able to contact a neighbor and we had an organized meeting of about 17, 20 people yesterday of a neighborhood. And I think once the explanation, we went through that, and I'm grateful for the 3 board members that were there to learn as well, but once they understood what was happening, I didn't send out one appeal with anybody that was there. Not to say that they won't be back, but I left them there, said they're here, please take one, and nobody did. I think they felt better once they understood. So I did find out yesterday afternoon from the Department of Revenue, our tentative multiplier will be a -1. We're approximately 3.39% higher than where we should be. Considering most people were taking 60, 70, 80% increases, the fact that we're 3% high doesn't bother me at all. I mean, we still have Board of Review to go through, and as Board of Review may find some of these appeals and lower, we may find that getting closer to just the 1 multiplier we typically get. So that's where we're at. We push forward. Appeals can be in the office or postmarked by May 4. Once that's done, we are gonna shut down as fast as we can, get it to Augie, who needs a couple weeks, get it to Dawn, who needs a couple weeks. There's a possibility bills could still be out in June.
Questions of Dina on those issues?
Normally, how many appeals do you have on an average?
Out of 18,300 parcels, last year we had 60. This year, I think we're floating in the 20s right now, and we've got several weeks to go yet, but less than 1%.
And then when does the Board of Review meet?
We're gonna start next week. As appeals are coming in, we're gonna try to keep up with them so we can keep the process flowing and get it to Augie as quickly as possible. So they're coming in a couple days next week to begin the review of appeals.
Dina, the property sales in the area, they've just been very high for the market, right? That's what's really pushed up the assessment values.
Correct. We explained that yesterday, that every single sale gets sent into Department of Revenue along with what our assessment was of the previous year. They collect those all year long. At the end of the year, they're looking at that township, seeing that we're not at 33 1/3. And so that if we don't do something, they will. But they'll do it across the county, whereas we can do it more individually by township and get it more refined. Some people don't need to be factored up as much as other areas. So that's why we have factored. This year we chose not to factor it all, and now I'm glad knowing that we're 3% too high. It does affect the entire county. I was talking with Jeff this morning. We did some math. About 35% of the assessment level, or the EAV for Edgar County, is in Paris Township alone. One township carries over 1/3 of your value. And we have 15 townships, so a heavy assessment in Paris is going to affect the overall county EAV.
The other thing I might add is on the program, again, I want to remind everybody that that is a state formula. And the only thing we could do is classify what type of ground whether it's woods, pasture, cropland, and I'm oversimplifying that. That's all our part is. Everything else is set by the state as far as how the taxes are figured, or the assessment is figured,
Right.
pardon me. Any other questions? Thank you, Dina. I know it's been tough on you and your staff, and the board appreciates everything that you do. Angie?
I just wanted to thank you for meeting with me last week. I got my new person hired. I think I'm fully staffed now.
Okay.
So,
I did just have a chance to discuss that with Lisa. So, okay,
thank you.
all right. And I guess from now on, that would be something that your committee would handle, correct? So, not that I'm not available to consult or whatever, but some of those things need to be moved along, so everybody knows what's going on. Morning, Jesse.
Good morning, everybody.
Do you have anything more to add to what your report was on Monday?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Tom, good morning.
Good morning. We closed out March much better in fuel sales than the previous 2 months. Thankfully, the weather was much more conducive. Fully rented, do have a short waiting list at the moment, which we haven't had for several months.
How's the Windsock project going?
Of course, everything's done, we just need a start date, which we've yet to receive.
So, okay, good morning, Wyatt.
Good morning.
Do you have anything?
Nothing specific. I'd give a shout out to Dina. I've had a couple people burn my ear about the farmland assessment, and it's not been fun, so I can appreciate that. But once I explained them, you know, the EAV, the PI, all that, they hopefully didn't call your office right after mine. So hopefully kept a few less phone calls for you.
Any questions of Wyatt? We appreciate your cooperation. Thank you from the Farm Bureau. Kim, good morning.
Good morning. We had a pretty good week last week. We picked up a couple nice grants last week, but I did want to announce one of them we picked up. The University of Illinois Extension Office used to do the SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. They used to do the nutritional education. We have that grant now. They did not, for whatever, I'm not sure what happened, but the University of Illinois Extension did not get that at the top of the year. So it went to the Illinois Public Health Association, and we were awarded a sub-grantee of that. So we will, it kind of fits in our wheelhouse since we deal so heavily with WIC and Medicaid, and it's right along the same requirements. So we will sign people up in our office for that, and we'll be the new agency that operates the SNAP for this county. So we're excited about that. We did hire a new nurse. I don't want to share her name yet, but she's coming on first week of May. So we're excited about that, and we're almost fully, but we are fully staffed at the moment. Doing good. Any questions?
Any questions of Kim? Thank you. Okay. Do you have anything there, Josh, from the Highway Department?
Nothing new at the highway, just in case somebody cares, the jail, they poured the last of the driveway today, this morning, so it's all coming along really well. So concrete's basically done. So it sounds like everything's still going on real well to be done. Substantially complete by mid-May, I believe, still, so.
Okay. And the Highway Department is gonna be working out in that area, and guardrails are gonna go up.
There's a piece of rail that's gonna go on the north side of the road next to the jail on that box, probably sometime next week. We did the Julian for them. The earliest it could be Friday, but I don't think they're gonna make it next week. Then there's a couple of locations in the county, and then they're, like she said Monday, they're gonna be doing some work in the road, down the road, as soon as they get materials and stuff in the next couple of weeks. So.
Any questions? Okay, committee reports. Andy? Do you have anything?
Nothing in order.
what we discussed on Monday.
Insurance, you're the head of the insurance committee, so one of the things that we've been asked by, I think Nancy's been asked, and so forth, is we have the same dental vision plan forever, and maybe it's stale or old, or, I mean, what is available out there that might help our folks? Not to include in our, what we pay, but at least offered at a discount for our employees to partake of.
Do you want to go outside of our present insurance carrier? Or just see what I can get him
I
to do?
think either way,
Okay.
I think, would be of an interest, I don't know.
So there's some interest from,
Well, even Josh said this morning that the cost of it is higher than if you went to their own website and got it. So
yeah.
the dental part of it is just horrible. There's little to no value to anyone that has that. The vision is a little better, but both of them, I think, need to be, there's gotta be something else that we could look at to give our employees a little better.
Okay.
Good luck.
Huh?
Good luck.
I know.
Um, speaking from an organization where our insurer went out of business and we had to rapidly pivot to one of 3 major carriers, that limited the availability. It only covered one dental entity and one vision entity in this town. So people are now having to travel much further distances to get dental or vision care at any reasonable rate. So that is, when we talk about governmental insurance overhaul, that is definitely needed. There's nothing locally that we can do about it, but don't be surprised when the carrier comes back and says, you're on the best plan for the value, because
I've been told
they're,
that all the time. Okay. But that's interesting, that they can't do better than what you can get online and do it for. Didn't you say that,
Yeah,
Josh?
through them.
Yeah.
For better coverage for less money through the exact same company. You think if nothing else, they could offer that plan through the county.
You haven't heard back, Kirk, yet, have you?
About,
Anything?
well, other than
I noticed you.
we're starting a checklist now,
Yeah.
Paycom has said, hey, we need to start looking at these things, in order to have everything ready come September, October.
Okay.
So has
they
anybody
are-
contacted Kirk to let him know?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we are
Yes.
in contact with him,
Okay.
but yeah.
But I know it's, as in the past, it's like pulling teeth to get them to do anything, because they don't know what your loss run is,
Right.
up until almost the end.
True.
So I would think there'd be a better system than that out there.
I think they understand now that we are on a different cycle than majority of, insurance coverage
Yeah.
for other people or other companies. We do it differently, sooner, and so I think they have finally realized that, okay, we need to start looking at this a little earlier.
Would it be an advantage to us to get maybe on that different cycle? And I don't, whether we can even get on a different cycle.
That's always tough, because if you want them to quote you early, they're gonna make sure that they're covered. So chances are, there's a good chance that it will be more expensive, possibly, depending on when you have claims.
I don't know by September 1st, I don't know the budget.
Well,
That's something we're gonna have to deal with.
yeah, I'll light a fire under it, if that's possible.
Yep. Well, and it may not be anything that Kirk can do, it's just,
Right.
it's just,
You remember last year,
yeah.
I mean, we've always been able to negotiate with them, and they really didn't negotiate anything last year.
Not like
I don't think they
gave
gave us anything, did they?
Yeah, they gave us a couple points.
Yeah. No, it wasn't worth Yeah.
Well, anything's worth something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they said to me that it's the claims, again, major surgeries, claims like that, that causes, you know, the price to stay up or
It
go
is.
down, so. Our infrastructure, the people that we have, I mean, we're all an older generation, so, we need to get younger people, healthy, younger people.
Have you had any luck on the clock, find someone to work on the clock?
Yeah.
Because I noticed, of course, I haven't paid attention to the other two, so I think these two over here,
Yeah, there's two of them.
both of them,
Don't work.
you know.
I'll work on
Dan, do you have anything?
No, Andrew's on Channel 3 News. I think it was Saturday morning, I don't know if you watch the news or not, but she had a litter of puppies. All of them were adopted out that day, which is really good. The numbers at the shelter are down a little bit. I think we're probably in the 40s. The investigation for the break-in is still ongoing, but they think they know who it is, but can't prove it, so we're putting in more cameras out there, so hopefully they'll take care of it. They do a great job out there, so just want to make the comment. That's all.
When is your next meeting? When is your next
Do
meeting?
I got my hearing aid in, but
when's your next meeting?
April 13th at 12 o'clock. Yeah, at the county building, April 13th.
Russ, do you have anything?
I do not.
Lisa?
No.
No?
Samantha?
Where's the floor?
Nothing additional from Monday.
Okay. You do have, Andy, would you hand this to Russ? This is, I handed that out Monday. That is the, through the end of the first 4 months. That's sealed, everything's in there. Okay, so it gives you an update on everything. Cash flow, just want to remind you, we basically received nothing because it's so early in the month, so that's why it looks a little weak. Is there anything else, do you have any questions of me? Hearing none, we have a motion to go into closed session for personnel. Is that right, Mr. State's Attorney?
Yes, I can't make the motion though.
No, I mean, is that the reason we're going in?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't clear on that. Is there a motion to go into closed session for personnel? Carl moves, Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We'll be going into closed meeting here in a couple of minutes. We'll come back out and open the meeting back up. So if you wish to stay, there's no further action that will be taken during the meeting or the closed session or after the meeting. So because there's no agenda items, okay? Just want to make sure everybody understands. So thank you all for being here. And, we'll go into closed session here in a few minutes.
Oh, I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, we have, we put up a link for I'll send you so I can help you to do it right, because I'm familiar with the winner.
Right now.
All right, that's fine. Okay, we're back in open session, so Philip, did you want to expound on what you were? I mean,
Yeah.
Nobody's out there.
We're open now. Okay.
We're good.
We're good.
So the board is entitled to legal guidance from the state's attorney's office. I can outline relevant laws without advocacy or personal opinion on underlying disputes. And I will say it again, I know that I've said it a lot, the sheriff is an independently elected constitutional official. County board has no direct authority over him aside from controlling the budget, and that's only within certain limitations, because if you were too restricted on the budget and made it so he can't carry out his constitutional duties, that would make it would be ripe for litigation by the sheriff, and the sheriff would win. Operational control rests with him, I think everybody's aware of that now. So, as far as your options as to what can be done, like I said, the budget, that's a thing, but it doesn't change anything now, and if that was gonna be a thing, it would have needed to be a thing years ago. And it would have been a hard sell maybe to the public at that time. There are 9 non-binding oversight things that could be done. Resolutions, non-binding resolutions could be passed that would denounce things. There could be potentially public hearings or requesting written reports on operations, or issue a public statement from the county board's perspective. The extreme remedies, which would be very fact intensive and case-by-case basis, would be official misconduct or failure to perform duties, mandatory duties. I know that seems like it's a dead gimme, and it's not. That's very fact intensive and likely does not rise to any of those. Nothing that's occurred, I would say, likely rises to that at this point in time, unfortunately. And being the state's attorney, I am with somewhat of a conflict of interest in between representing the county board and county officials, and that would include the sheriff and official civil matters. And if something became an adverse situation, somebody's gonna have to be an attorney. I would have to choose a side, the side essentially that I believed had the right of it by law, and then the other side would have to get outside counsel, would have to be appointed by the court. So it's kind of a messy situation from the perspective of my office. And I'm trying to do my best to stay as, to not advocate or share a personal opinion regarding these issues. And as far as criminal charges, I'm just not gonna do it. The county board can't direct me to file criminal charges, and I don't have a report to file criminal charges on, and if I'm gonna rise to the level of criminal action. So that one's off the table. Anybody have any questions?
I don't have a question, but I have a statement. I know that you say that the level of documentation that would be required to perform, to show that there is a lack of duty, while it would be labor intensive, I don't think that it would, like, a reasonable jury would not see that there's been a lack of oversight, a lack of him performing his thing. I'm not advocating to go down that path. I'm just disagreeing with that statement, that I do believe if you look over the past 12 years worth of his reign, there is a multitude of areas where there has been a failure in his leadership and the oversights of the divisions of this county that he is ultimately responsible for, from telecommunications to corrections to road deputies. I think it could that, I'm not advocating for that, I'm just disagreeing with that statement that you made.
And I don't think any of those rise to the level of a violation of his mandatory duties under the Constitution. Those are things that maybe suggest bad management, bad leadership, but they're not something that the people of the county elected them multiple times, and ultimately, the elected officials are protected by the popular vote. And so that's the nature of the system. It's difficult, there is, and this one's almost kind of it's not funny, but the only way that a sheriff can be removed by law almost automatically would be if he allowed a mob to come into the jail and lynch a prisoner in his care. That's a mandatory, the governor would issue a proclamation, he would be removed from office, essentially immediately, and that's the exception.
I'm guessing our governor wouldn't even do that.
Right.
I'm sorry. I don't think that's an automatic. Folks, when you wanna get to, you wanna get Carl to do his thing, me stay on, and Philip stay on our attorney, and find out what's going on, get stuff adjudicated as quickly as we can, get the process going as quickly as we can, and we'll just continue to monitor that, not monitor it, but try to be a facilitator of that.
And
What else do you want us to do?
And I think that hopefully after this incident, dispatchers are aware that they need to be doing their best to be doing, dealing with difficult people, dealing with emergencies, and trying their best to be calm, and then also provide as much information as they can to the responders. I know that there's a different set of dispatchers from the other dispatchers, so I know it seems like it's pardon my language, a clusterfuck, which is it kind of is, but it's there's a legal term of art, a special meaning in law. But these all just kind of happen at the same time, and there has to be certain steps that are taken for the corrective actions, and hopefully the dispatchers are aware and that they need to change what they're doing and be on their A games.
I'd like to remind any one of the board members, nobody's special or different than any other. If there's a resolution that you want to propose, or several of you want to propose, that's certainly within your purview to do. And the rest of the board would consider that. So, okay, yes.
So if it was on, a very generic statement was on WCIA's ticker this morning, but if it goes beyond that to become out there more, and they ask for a county board comment, then what?
Well, it depends on who they'd ask.
Probably gonna be you.
Yeah. It depends on the question.
Right.
We're reviewing and investigating, and we're still trying to find out exactly what happened. I mean, we don't have all the answers yet. We still don't, and that's the truth. I mean, what would you suggest?
I don't really have one, I'm.
Just be proactive, you
Right.
could be a
Yeah.
legal approach to the time.
But, I guess
We're
it's what's our
actively
role in this, because we don't really have one.
Correct, I think we should defer the
So-
news media to talk to the sheriff. He's the ultimate authority in the county, or he sees that oversight.
We understand that the sheriff's office is investigating, and all the information have to come from the sheriff's office.
Heck,
That's
as long as
fine.
we're all on that same page.
No, that's fine. And then I can go on a diatribe.
Yeah, but be careful.
No, I'm kidding.
No, no, but
I mean, I go off the rails.
I thought about that. I thought what happens is someone standing out there as we come into the meeting this morning, what do you say? You know, actions of three individuals don't represent the community. Three. if that's indeed what happened. We're not sure what
Yeah,
happened to
none
him,
of
but
us
if
know
that's
for
what
certain
happened.
what happened.
I intend to reach out today. I actually asked for the cell phone numbers of the two Danville gentlemen and let them know that it's being pursued by the state attorney's office to the fullest extent possible.
Yeah.
And it's not the kind of stuff that we allow in Edgar County. And that I intend to, if possible, send those individuals to prison.
We don't run the county like they run the fair roads.
That would be great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do they have, does anybody have any idea whether they know who these people were? They know who they were.
Yes,
I'm
I
surprised.
do, because we took care of them and flew them out.
Those are the ones that, who got shot?
A couple of individuals.
I mean, were the,
Oh, two, more than one was shot.
No,
Just one, yeah, just one.
okay.
That's what I understood.
But I believe it's all still under investigation right now, so.
I guess I'm not trying to find out who. I don't know who got shot. Was it the perpetrators or the?
People,
We need to be careful because we're on camera. Okay, about this, there's laws, there's all kinds of stuff that we. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Russ moves, Andy. Several people will second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We're adjourned.
Just for, on the board, I don't know what happened. I just turned around as a mess.
I didn't know.
I just hope they call the sheriff to start with.
Yeah.
Hang on. Our position should be